Hey everyone, this is James Roguski. Today is November 24th, 2023. It's Friday, and there's only about a week left for all of the heads of state around the world, 196 different nations that are party to the international health regulations, to send a simple letter to the WHO to reject the amendments that were adopted almost 18 months ago on May 27th, 2022. What I'd like to do is actually give a little bit of additional information. I did an interview with Dan Aston Gregory down below. I hope you watch that as well. It'll give you all the background for all of this. And what I want to talk about is the information that's below that video about the law in the United Kingdom, because an interesting series of events have occurred in the UK. And it starts, back on May 27th, 2022, when the amendments were adopted. Liz Truss was the foreign minister at the time until September 6th, 2022, when she left to become prime minister. At that point in time, James Cleverly became the foreign minister. And in September of 2022, a new document about the policies and procedures dealing with agreements and treaties and amendments and all that sort of stuff, you can read that down below, laid out the procedures as to the manner in which these types of international agreements are supposed to be handled by the UK government. Well, James Cleverly has been in office for a little more than a year, but on November 13th, he was replaced by David Cameron. So you've had three separate people who were supposed to be overseeing the handling of this new, relatively small international agreement. Now, I want people to realize these amendments are not the end of the world, and Armageddon isn't going to hit on December 1st if no one in the world rejects these amendments. I think some nations very well might. What these amendments would do, if they are allowed to remain and not be rejected, is to shorten the time period that each nation in the world will have to consider the next round of amendments, if there is one, which I have my fingers crossed that that's not going to happen. The current time period is 18 months. Now, the amendments that were adopted in May of 2022, the deadline is December 1st, 18 months. They want to shorten that to 10 months. Well, if it had been 10 months, nobody would have ever noticed what the heck was happening. That was 8 months ago, and most people are just learning about this now. They also want to shorten the time period during which there would have to be legislation passed and money allocated or whatever might need to be done to implement whatever is required by the amendments to ensure that every nation is compliant. They want to shorten that time period from 24 down to 12 months. Well, these three foreign affairs ministers it doesn't appear they have followed the proper protocols, because in the UK law, it says very clearly that any treaty or any amendment to any treaty or international agreement or convention or whatever the heck name you want to call it is supposed to be presented officially to Parliament. It's supposed to stay there for 21 seated days or sitting days so that Parliament can discuss it. Now, Parliament will not be asked to ratify or approve or adopt or anything. No, that's not how it works. But Parliament could review it and vote to reject it. Well, there's a lot less than 21 days left before the deadline, and it doesn't look like that proper presentation has happened, and it certainly isn't going to give adequate time, because 21 days from now is well past the deadline. To complicate the issue and add a level of hypocrisy and just irony into the whole situation, back on April 3rd, 2023, Tess Lawrie from World Council for Health submitted a petition requesting a discussion in Parliament about these amendments. And over the course of the 6 months that the petition ran, it got over 116,000 signatures, which is beyond the threshold for Parliament to consider a public debate. Well, rumor has it that that public debate is going to be scheduled for December 18th. We shall see what they do. But last time I looked on the calendar, December 18th is after December 1st. So way to go, Petition Committee and Parliament, for scheduling a debate on a topic that was raised back in April, and you're waiting 18 days past the deadline to have a discussion about it. Good job. You guys are doing fantastic. And so please look at all the information below. And, if I'm wrong, if I'm misunderstanding something, if there's some detail that, maybe something happened and I'm not aware of it, please let me know in the comments or give me a phone call at 310-619-3055. This is all, the whole point of all of this is to understand how this process is broken. Details certainly matter. The details of this package of amendments and the details of whatever might be coming in the future, certainly all of that matters. But what really matters is that the international health regulations have set up a system that ignores we the people, and apparently it also ignores our representatives in Congress and Senate and Parliament and the Knesset and every other legislative body around the world. Please understand that you get to watch a slow motion train wreck of how our democratic representation has been taken away by setting up a council of leaders who control health policy through the WHO. Thank you very much. Give me a phone call anytime, 310-619-3055, and have a wonderful day.